Hello, welcome to our second session of Scripture as Art for the month of March 2022. We had a great gathering, lots of insight and wisdom and creativity that came out of our February conversation. So I invite you to reflect on this gospel and to do some sort of creative response. It could take any format. And join us at 11:30 on our Sunday Zoom link on March 27th for that conversation. You're welcome to come, even if you didn't create, but I do encourage you to try different opportunities. Our scripture for that Sunday is the gospel for the fourth Sunday in Lent, so we'll hear it in worship as well. And it comes to us from the Gospel of Luke. It is a couple of verses at the beginning of chapter 15, and then it jumps down to verse 11b. B refers to the second half of the verse, going through verse 32. But you're welcome to also explore some of those passages that come in between that sandwich of verses. And we have it available for you in text as well. Feel free to find other translations because it can get you thinking some of those differences. So I invite you to listen now as I share with you Luke 15. Often known as the prodigal son, maybe the loving father, the elder brother, but don't be held back by any of those later added titles. All the tax collectors and sinners were coming near to listen to Jesus, and the Pharisees and the scribes were grumbling and saying, "This fellow welcomes sinners and eats with them." So Jesus told them this parable. There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger of them said to the father, "Father, give me the share of the property that will belong to me." So the father divided his property between them. A few days later, the younger son gathered all that he had and traveled to a distant country where he squandered his property in dissolute living. When he had spent everything, a severe famine took place throughout the country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to one of the citizens of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed the pigs. He would gladly have filled himself with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired hands have bread enough and to spare, but here I am dying of hunger. I will get up and go to my father, and I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me like one of your hired hands.' So he set off and went to his father. But while he was still far off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran and put his arms around him and kissed him. Then the son said to his father, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his slaves, 'Quickly, bring out a robe, the best one, and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet, and get the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' And they began to celebrate. Now his elder son was in the field, and when he came and approached the house, he heard music and dancing. He called one of the slaves and asked what was going on. He replied, 'Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fatted calf because he has got him back safe and sound.' Then the elder son became angry and refused to go in. His father came out and began to plead with him. But the elder son answered his father, 'Listen, for all these years I have been working like a slave for you, and I have never disobeyed your command. Yet you have never given me even a young goat so that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came back, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fatted calf for him.' Then the father said to him, 'Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. But we had to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours was dead and has come to life. He was lost and has been found.